Andrew ran all the way home. Then he remembered he had to go to Miss Burrow's house to get the key. The secret recipe for freckle juice was folded carefully into the bottom of Andrew's shoe. He was going to put it inside his sock, but then he was afraid if to read it. So inside his shoe, it was safe enough. Even if it was windy, nothing could happen to it there. He made up his mind not to read it until he got home. He didn't want to waste any time getting there, and he wasn't the world's fastest reader. Anyway, even though he'd gotten better since last fall, still there might be some hard words that would take a while to figure out. Andrew pressed Miss Burrow's doorbell. Here's a picture. "Hello, Andrew," she said. She opened up the door. "You're home from school early. I ran all the way." Andrew panted. How about some milk and cookies?" Miss Burrow asked. "No, thank you. Just wanted the key." "Well, come in, Andrews. Your mother's in the living room." Andrew followed Miss Burrows. His mother was dealing 4 piles of cards. "Hi, Mom. I came in for the key." "Manners, Andrew, manners. Don't you say hello to all the ladies?" Miss Marcus asked. "Oh, hello," Andrew said. Miss Marcus reached out for her purse. She opened it and gave Andrew the key. "Change your clothes and play outside. I'll be home by 4 o'clock. Here's a picture of Andrew, her giving the key. That only gave him an hour. He hoped to receive it. Didn't say to cook anything. He wasn't allowed to turn on the stove or the oven. Andrew dashed to his house, unlocked the front door, and took off his shoes as soon as he was inside. He pulled out the secret recipe and sat down on the floor to read it. It said, this is the picture of the recipe. I'm going to read what it says. It says, Sharon's secret recipe for freckle juice. 1 glass of makes an average amount of freckles. To get like Nikki Lane, drink 2 glasses, mix up these things together, stir well, drink fast. Grape juice, vinegar, mustard, mayonnaise, juice from 1 lemon, pepper and salt, ketchup, olive oil, and a speck of an onion. P.S. The faster you drink it, the faster you get freckles. Andrew read the list twice. It didn't sound like much of a secret recipe. His mother used those things every day. Of course, she didn't use them all together. Maybe that was the secret part. Well, he paid 50 cents. He might as well find out. He climbed up on the kitchen counter so he could reach the cabinets. He found everything except the lemon that was in the refrigerator and the onions. Miss Marcus kept onions in the basement in the bin. Andrew ran downstairs and selected a small one since the recipe only called for a speck. Without or without the skin, Andrew wondered. He chose a big blue glass. He'd start with just 1 glass full and then drink the other. If he wanted more freckles, no point in overdoing it the first time. That's what his mother always said. Now, first the grape juice, Andrew thought. He filled up the glass halfway and added ice cubes. All the drinks tasted better cold and he was sure this one was too. Then he added the other ingredients by one. His mother had 2 kinds of vinegars, wine vinegar and plain vinegar. Andrew picked the wine one. He put in in some mustard, 1 spoonful of mayonnaise, and plenty of pepper and salt. Here's a picture of ingredients. Then some ketchup. That was hard to pour. But what about olive oil? His mother had vegetable oil, but no olive oil. Maybe that stuff looked like water, and the olive oil jar was what Sharon meant. He put in a few spoonfuls of that. Now for the lemon, Andrew cut one and a half, and squeezed. Oh no, a seed dropped in by mistake. He picked it out with a spoon. He hated pits in his juice. Now all he needed was a speck of onion, and he was all set. He stirred it up and drank, and it smelled it. And smelling it and mixing it. Oh, it smelled awful, just plain awful. He'd have to hold his nose while he drank it. He stuck his tongue into the glass to taste it. Ick, terrible. He didn't know how he would even manage to get it down, and fast too. It said to drink it very fast. That old Sharon, she probably thought he wouldn't be able to drink it. Well, he showed her. He drank it all right. Picture of him trying to drink it, but it smells really bad. Andrew held his nose, tilted his head back, and gulped down Sharon's secret recipe. For freckle juice, he felt like throwing up. It was that bad. But if he did, he'd never get freckles. No, he would be strong. Andrew creeped into his mother's bedroom. He didn't feel well enough to walk. He sat down on the floor in front of the full-length mirror. He waited for something to happen.
Pretty soon, something happened, all right? Andrew turned greenish and felt very sick. His stomach hurt, and at 4 o'clock, Miss Marcus came home. Yo-ho, Andrew, where are you? She called. Andrew heard her, but he couldn't answer. He was too weak. He made a little noise. Andrew Marcus, is that you? His mother stood in the doorway of her bedroom. What are you doing in here? I told you to play outside. And why didn't you change your clothes? Didn't I say to change your clothes? Andrew made another noise. Mrs. Marcus looked at his face. Andrew, you're green. Absolutely green. Are you sick? Andrew nodded. He was afraid if he opened up his mouth, he'd lose the freckle juice. What hurts? Miss Marcus asked, feeling his forehead. Andrew moaned and held his stomach. Oh, my appendicitis. You must have appendicitis. I'm going to call the doctor. This is Andrew looking at the mirror. No, I'd rather just drive straight to the hospital. No, I'll call an ambulance. Andrew shook his head, but his mother didn't notice. She said, don't move. I'm gonna go into the kitchen to phone. I'll be right back. Andrew rolled around moaning. Mrs. Marcus came back to her bedroom in a hurry. Andrew Marcus, I've just seen that mess in the kitchen. Did you or did you not make something and eat it? Uh-oh. He forgot to clean up. Now she knew. Well, he didn't care. His stomach was killing him. Well, young man, I'm surprised at you. Surprise. Mrs. Burroughs offered you milk and cookies, and you refused. Then you came home and made yourself an... I don't know what. It scared me half to death, thinking you had appendicitis. I always thought you were more sensible, Andrew. I just can't believe it. Andrew closed his eyes. Now, young man, you are going to bed. Andrew thought that was the best idea he'd heard in a long time. Mrs. Marcus gave him 2 spoonfuls of pink stuff that tastes like peppermint, and she tucked him into bed. Maybe the freckles would come out while he was sleeping. Right now, he didn't care much if they ever came out. He hated Sharon. She'd done it on purpose, just to get his 50 cents. He'd show her. She'd be sorry someday. He drifted off to sleep. He had terrible dreams. A big green monster made him drink 2 quarts of freckle juice 3 times a day. Every time he drank it, the monster got freckles, but Andrew didn't. Andrew woke up sweaty. His stomach still felt funny. His mother gave him 2 more spoonfuls of that pink stuff, and he fell asleep again. This is a picture of the monster with freckles and freckle juice. The next day, Andrew stayed home from school. He only looked in the mirror once. No freckles. He wasn't surprised. At noon, he drank some hot tea. He wasn't ever going back to school. Sharon wasn't going to see him without freckles. She thought she was so great. Well, she wasn't going to get the chance to laugh at him. No, sir. But the following day, his mother woke him up and saying, "Time for school. Rise and shine. Don't forget to wash your neck and behind your ears." She pulled the covers off of him. "I'm not going to school today," Andrew said. "I'm never going to school again." He hid his head under the pillow. "So, I've got a school dropout in 2nd grade. We'll have to do something about that. Here are your clothes. I want to see you up and dressed before I count to 15, or you're going to take 3 baths every day for the next 10 years. Andrew got dressed. He ate breakfast, ate a breakfast bun, and drank some milk. But he couldn't let Sharon get away with it. He had to do something. This is Andrew with his breakfast bun. That's it. Hi, I'm Maxwell, and this is Caden. And thank you so much for listening to chapters 3 and 4 of Pickle Juice by Judy Blume. We hope you have an amazing day. Thank you.